because of the weight disadvantage.
Can you imagine, bro? You're fighting Canelo Alvarez, man. Nobody ever heard of you. Nobody even knows your name, all that stuff, bro.
But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo. He's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for.
Floyd Mayweather reacted to the idea of Terence Crawford facing Canelo Alvarez by saying it's a solid matchup, but also gave a word of caution. He stressed that boxing is not something to take lightly, especially when there's a clear difference in weight, and urged Crawford to make a smart decision before entering the ring.
And it's a good matchup with those two. You know, may the best man win. But this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
Terence Crawford is set on proving his doubters wrong, calling the Canelo fight a tough test, but one he welcomes because he enjoys big challenges. He says no opponent is too big for him and has full confidence in his skills. While some criticize his choice to fight Canelo, saying the size gap is too much, Crawford is focused on proving he can rise to the occasion.
That's a fight because of the challenge. Yeah. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear them now. You're too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147. That way too big, this and that. I can hear it now. And that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove them wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jamel and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah.
Boxing has weight classes for a reason. They're not just rules, but a way to keep fighters safe from opponents who may be much bigger and stronger. When talk shifts to Terence Crawford taking on Canelo Alvarez, one major issue stands out: the big gap in weight. Canelo fights easily at 168 pounds, while Crawford has built his career in much lighter divisions. Many fighters and experts agree that this move up might be too much for Crawford to take on safely.
They have weight divisions for a reason, right or wrong?
Right. Manny Pacquiao, bro.
Okay.
What's your take on Manny?
Pacquiao didn't move up 3 weight divisions at once.
Okay.
Fight a pound-for-pound fighter.
Okay, so Canelo's got it. How does Canelo get it done?
I don't know, man. It might be the boringest fight ever. It might be the best fight ever. But I will tell you this: it's not a fight I truly care about. Crawford's not really entertaining. So I don't really care about how he fights. But I will tell you like this: he's a tremendous fighter. He's a great fighter, but he's not really entertaining outside the ring. There's nothing that makes me want to be like, I can't wait to see the next Terence Crawford fight.
Today's fighters aren't staying quiet about the Crawford versus Canelo talk. Rolly Romero made it clear that weight classes exist for a reason, pointing to the clear size difference between the two and predicting Canelo would win based on that alone. Floyd Mayweather, who once defeated a younger Canelo, also shared his thoughts. He reminded everyone that the Canelo he fought back then isn't the same one today. Canelo has evolved into a much stronger, more dominant fighter. Mayweather noted that while he was older during their bout, he still saw Canelo's potential and power even back then.
Crazy that, you know, Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. You know, I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy. Even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level, and it's something totally different.
Boxing legend Mike Tyson didn't hold back when talking about the Crawford versus Canelo fight. In his view, it's a mistake for Crawford to take on someone like Canelo. Tyson highlighted Canelo's strength, aggressive approach, and how he breaks opponents down with constant pressure. He believes this kind of matchup could go badly for Crawford, warning that the danger might be greater than any potential reward.
Mike, I gotta say this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
Yeah, he can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. You just say he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
Rising star David Benavidez shared a more mixed opinion. While he has respect for both fighters, he admitted he'd rather not see this fight happen. Benavidez understands that Canelo is the biggest draw in boxing right now and everyone wants a shot at him, but he's concerned about the huge leap in weight Crawford would have to make.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you, but it would be, I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight, it would be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity. And and after this fight, what else are they gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at the WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, you know, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But you know, I see that weight class. You know, I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm.
Amir Khan, who's faced Canelo before, gave one of the most heartfelt warnings. Reflecting on his own experience, Khan admitted he didn't fully realize how much the size difference would matter. He called Canelo a beast and said he found out the hard way why weight classes are so important. His message to Crawford was clear: be careful.
Canelo's a beast, man. Canelo's a beast. And you know, when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and it happened. And obviously, I was probably at my peak of my career there as well. So, whoever I was going to fight, I was going to give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were probably winning that fight against Canelo until he knocked me out. But, yeah, I was boxing well. But you know, one thing, size, now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing. Every weight division. But then again, look, bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, you know. I thought about it. What made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally, I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. That's still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight, you know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, like, but Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A box fight, I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well. And he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this, another. But no, Canelo's still a beast.
I mean, Eddie Hearn says this levels of Adam. What do you think?
I think today, Adam proved he is probably on the same level. But in my opinion, both guys want to fight each other just yet.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult shared a striking observation. He said that hearing Canelo's punches up close was chilling, and that even when Canelo isn't hitting at full strength, his punches still sound very dangerous.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford?
Yeah, got Canelo. Yeah. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. When you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo, I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo's skillful too.
Joe Rogan, a veteran fight commentator, stressed just how hard Canelo hits. He wasn't breaking down strategy or footwork. His focus was all on the serious physical damage Canelo can cause.
There's just guys that just have preposterous power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold up for hooks?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. Just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, just power. And you see him just, hey, boom! Bro, he hits so hard.
Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back during a live interview. He openly said he hated the idea of this fight, believing the difference in weight and power makes it too dangerous for Crawford.
Let me tell you what I think should be going. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it and lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Legendary Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez gave a straightforward prediction. If Crawford takes this fight, he will get knocked out. Chavez respects Crawford's skills, but believes Canelo's strength at 168 pounds is just too much. With decades of experience, his warning carries a lot of weight.
The two fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford, but probably Canelo is going to knock him out.
Sean Garcia also joined those cautioning Crawford. While he praised Crawford's boxing smarts, he pointed out that Canelo's physical power creates a tough barrier that could be impossible to break. Garcia thinks that in this fight, skill alone might not be enough to beat Canelo's size and strength.
Him and Crawford?
Yeah.
I think Canelo's just too big for Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford is another, amazing fighter. You gotta give credit when it's due. He's an amazing fighter, he's very talented, and he'll for sure give Canelo a fight, and Canelo knows that. But I feel like Canelo will use, his experience, his weight, and how big he is, and I think he'll overpower Terence Crawford like in the later.
Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn offered a unique view, calling the fight a freak matchup. He said it might grab attention, but the big weight difference makes it feel more like a stunt than a real competition. Hearn added that if Crawford wins, fans might still question his victory because of the size gap. But if Canelo wins, it will just be seen as expected.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
Trainer Joel Diaz pointed out that one of Canelo's biggest strengths isn't just his hard punches. It's his ability to absorb heavy hits from tough fighters. Diaz explained that Crawford could struggle to hurt Canelo, which might put him at a disadvantage as the fight goes on.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Oscar de la Hoya, former champion and now promoter, called the fight a money grab. He questioned if it made sense competitively and pointed out that in boxing history, whenever a smaller skilled fighter faced a much bigger opponent, the bigger man usually came out on top.
William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it. Yeah.
But Crawford doesn't rely on his power; he relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can he's like Bruce Lee, literally. And he's in his peak, he's in his prime. And so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford.
There you have it. Oscar De La Hoya talking about Crawford.
Journalist Dan Raphael disagreed with Stephen A. Smith. He argued that Crawford isn't fighting just for money. He's aiming for greatness. While Raphael respected Crawford's drive, he admitted the path to winning would be very tough. According to him, Crawford would need a perfect game plan just to stand a chance. Still, not everyone is against the fight.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media, and I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention, and he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hyped about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Famous trainer and commentator Teddy Atlas is one of the few experts who believes Crawford has a real chance. He highlighted Crawford's smarts, toughness, and ability to adapt during a fight. Atlas thinks Crawford is the kind of fighter who adjusts on the fly and won't give up mentally or physically. In his view, if anyone can beat the odds, it's Crawford.
Come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.
The upcoming fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is one of the biggest what-if matchups in recent boxing history. If Crawford beats the odds, it could be a legendary moment. But the big difference in size and strength also raises the risk of a serious setback.
He's tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. A unified champion that he's been. All of of that stuff, he's not going to be able to handle it. I ask this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more next time.